Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Anything Goes with Anna Rose. And I have a room full of coins today.
Hello.
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 I feel like this is genuinely my most requested episode at the moment. So it is such a privilege and pleasure to bring my two best friends on the couch.
Thanks for having us, honey.
Shan Loz.
Excited to be here.
Let's do this. We're gonna try and do it in an hour. We could yap. We've just been yapping off.
We were meant to start 30 minutes ago.
And we kept being like, okay, we'll go. So we are going to try and condense it to an hour. I'm actually going to look at the time. All right, 3:00. All right,
Okay.
bitches.
Wow, is it 3 already?
No, it's 2.
Oh,
We've got an
okay. I was
hour.
going to say, Jesus, we really were talking
Yeah,
about
you're like, oh my God, I have to go. No, so we are here today to talk about all things sisterhood, girlhood, best friends, just I think womanhood in general. I definitely got some incredible questions from my community that we can unpack. But let's just begin. How are you feeling?
Excited.
How
Love
you both
it.
feeling?
Love hanging out with my besties.
My two favourite people.
I know.
You're
How
like,
does
when
it
I
get
come
any
record
better?
a podcast, I'm like, on a Saturday with my two best friends with a champagne.
Yes,
Yes.
I know.
No kids.
Are you kidding? There is one out there though, Banjo.
Yeah, babe.
We're yelling. All right, so the biggest thing that I get, so every time I do a question box, this is what brought us together. Every time I have done a question box recently, in recent times, I feel like there's a real sisterhood wound running at the moment. The number one theme that I get in my question box is always just about friendship and how do you have such good friends and how are you all so close and how do I form friendships like you have, etc. And then when I came to you girls and I said, hey, we have to sit down and do this conversation, I did put a question box up. But I want to just start with the general thread of what is friendship to you? Like how do we have such a solid friendship? I think we can and will use ourselves as the example in the next hour. You can go wherever you want to go. And I can even we could unpack it together.
Unpack what?
Some of the way,
where are you going?
yeah,
What's
like,
happening?
mate, you know it's my podcast, so you can say whatever the
Where
fuck
are we
you want.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. No, but we can also unpack times in my life, and you've witnessed it as well, where I've had to like unravel friendships as well.
But I also think that's part of it. I'm sure that'll be part of the conversation. Like part of you growing up is some friends are for like, what's that? A reason, a season, a lifetime. And I feel like that even is that's with friendships.
Yeah.
And like you talk about breakups romantically, but I know that we've all lost friendships in adult years too. And that's also part of you getting clear on who you are and what your values are and different seasons of life that you're in. And I think that can also just be a natural part of growing up too.
Do you know what, though? I think there's something different in this dynamic because, and I don't ever see us ever breaking up.
No.
Because.
You're stuck with me.
Bitch, sorry. But I think there's something different in this friendship circle that I have, that I've experienced, that we just all hold each other to a really high standard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that my other friendships don't. It's just, I don't know. Do you know I don't know how to articulate it.
I actually think it was actually interesting. I think it was one of your our podcast live event that we did. Do you remember? It was one of your girls came in your community, came up to me and asked like a similar question. She was like really curious about how we had the friendship that we had. And I remember even reflecting on it back then and kind of echoing what you were just talking into. I feel like what is different with this friendship circle, like you said, I've got other beautiful friends from different seasons of life. But when you're in your fullest expression of yourself, living out your values, you attract your people to you, know what I mean? So I feel like when we all found each other, we were all really clear on who we are, what we stood for, and we were pursuing things that were important to us as individuals that allowed us to find our people. And I feel like there's a lot of people that haven't found their people, but I'm like, you haven't given yourself permission to be all of you yet. Like you're not letting yourself stand in your authenticity or share the things that you're passionate about or pursuing the things that you say you want to pursue. Like I'm sure if you start putting yourselves in those rooms or at those events or trying that hobby, you will find those people that you're probably, the people that you're looking for are probably out there looking for you as well. Does that make
They
sense?
just can't find you. 100%.
So it's your friendships are also your mirror. And if you're not finding them, it's like, how are you showing up and how are you showing up for your friends? But also are you being all those things that you wish you seeked in others? Are you being them first to attract them?
And that's the like pinning that. Okay, we're going to pin that because that is the number one thing I always say to everyone in my inbox when they come to me and they say that to me and they say when they see us together, or it's generally when they see us together and they're like, how do you have this friendship and et cetera? And I say, well, who are you being as the friend? It's the first thing I always say. I'm like, that's amazing you want a friendship like a deep, real, authentic, fun, connected sister relationship and friendship of just deep loyalty. But are you that woman?
Yeah.
Right? Like, are you being that woman first? Because I know, because a question that I got was, how did we meet? And you sort of touched on it. Like, it was at an event.
I think maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, me and Chani, we met each other the same thing through business, through network marketing. We weren't friends before that. We've met each other pursuing our passions and our values for health and entrepreneurship and freedom. And I remember
Lozzie thought she was applying for a job.
Story for another day.
Yes. Long story.
She handed her resume in and I was like, this is cute. You're hired.
Bitch, you're the one who put up an advert. She's like, we are hiring.
You fucking fell for it.
And you're fucking hired. You're welcome. Are you kidding?
And I said, no, thank you.
But then I pursued you.
You did pursue me.
Invited you out for breakfast. I paid for breakfast and I said,
I love this.
despite you saying no to the business, like, I actually really like you and I think we should be friends.
Yes.
And that is how a friendship started.
And it's very similar to us, though, because I remember
Yes.
we were at a network marketing event, and I remember it was one Sandy Caton was talking at. I remember
Jen, it was like
Jen,
powerful
yeah,
women in network marketing.
redefining network marketing. I remember seeing you and being aware of you, but like saying hi but not really having anything to do with you. And then it was at Eric Warre's 6-figure mastermind where I think you just moved to the Gold Coast, or you were about to move to the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And I actually started a friendship with you, and you're like, I'm moving to the Gold Coast in like a month. I'm not going to know anyone. I'm like, babe, hit me up when you get here. And then we caught up for like a cocktail, and then that was
in Surfers.
that was
I
it.
remember that.
You spoke at that event, right?
Yeah.
Because
I know. So my memory of how we all met was how we met as a threesome at that point.
a threesome. We've never called each other a threesome.
Thanks for everything. I spoke at that event, and it was, and I want people to understand this as well, because this is important. Technically, we were, which I just don't ever believe in. I've never believed in this when I was in the industry of network marketing. We were quote unquote competitors, right?
Different companies.
We were completely different companies. So I want women to understand that it wasn't like same company, same everything. No, we were in,
Health.
you guys were in, Juice Plus, I was in Isogenic. So we would have been like quote unquote competitors. And I remember when I was speaking at that event, and you ladies came up to me, and I remember saying to Morgs, my ex at the time, when we'd left and we were in the car, I was like, oh my God, I fucking vibe those girls.
Well, that's funny because like when you were on stage, and I have shared this millions of times because I get asked all the time as well, like, how did you create those friendships? I remember seeing you on stage and being like, I need to be fucking friends with this chick.
Yeah.
And we were like, should we go say hi to her? Like afterwards, should we go say hi to the Isogenics chick? Yeah, let's go say hi to her.
And that was it, because you had come up, and then I remember being in the car and I was like, I need to be their friends. Then when I was moving, or I podcasted with you girls first on your podcast at your house.
That's right.
Yeah.
We invited you on the pod.
And then it all transpired. But what I want people to understand is like the audacity of all of us. Like, listen to how we became friends.
We put ourselves out of our comfort zones. Yeah. We weren't sitting in our homes hoping these people would find us. We're also out there pursuing things that we were passionate about, to find people who have like-minded interests and values to us.
Yeah.
And I could have easily not invited you out for breakfast after you being quite angry with me that I made you apply for a job and you saying no.
I was like, it was a switching bait. I was like, I'm going for a job and you tell me I don't get paid. Like, I'm really confused about this.
You ended up getting paid, mate. Okay, so
She got paid.
you got paid,
ladies and
girl.
gentlemen.
You were booked back and busy. But yeah, I could have just been like, oh, how embarrassing. Like, I'm not going to reach out to her. The audacity to be like, do you want to go on a breakfast date?
Yeah.
And that was such a fun brekkie.
Yeah, and that's what we've been friends. There's 10 years of friendship and business together. As I said, it's like you said, I think it really does come down to like talking about other friendships. Like, I've got so many beautiful friendships, but like you said, the thing that I think is different, a lot of the other friends you find up before adult years, I think, are friends of convenience. Like you grow up,
time.
Yeah. You know each other because you grew up in the same town, or you went to the same school, or like they're family friends, and you just kind of grow up together. And then, but when you're in a season of life where, like, when you're a mum or you are working and you've grown to a new city, like, to find those friendships, you have to put yourself out there. So I think they're really intentional friendships. And if you are being intentional with the rooms you're putting yourself in, and you're clear on that your values in the first place, like, yeah, you cultivate that really intentionally and consciously.
You said something then that I think is really important, and it's convenience. I think we live in a time where like it's so convenient to do everything. It's like convenient to get Uber Eats, convenient to like cancel on someone through a text because it's like, you don't have to pick up the phone and say, I'm sorry, I'm not coming. It's like, sorry, I can't go, like make up an excuse. I think it's so convenient to not create friendships. Like it's easier to not.
Yeah.
And I think
Or to
Friendships
put
take
even,
effort.
and then within that as well, the subtext is or prioritize them.
exactly. And I think when it's easier to just cancel on someone or postpone or rain check or whatever, like just don't.
Yeah.
Just
Shocking.
I know.
I'm going to go there actually, because one question that I got is how do you prioritize friendship when there is no time, right? And I feel like we really do prioritize our friendship when we are together. We're so present. We have fun, like we do, So
We hardly have any content together because
I
the
know.
phone is always away.
I
And
know.
it's like, we'll have like a Yamba trip and we're like, damn it, we didn't get anything.
do you know? I actually was thinking that the other night when I had so we all caught up at yours to do the pre-DJ before the DJ.
Yeah, I have no content.
That was like my favorite night. That's like a core memory for me, right?
I got a little 30-second video
You
of the
did.
kids.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
got
so
that.
cute. And we're kind of like in the background. But I thought that, and I thought, isn't it beautiful that genuinely my most favorite moments truly are offline, and they're typically with us. Like they're always with us together. But something that I want to say, so a question we got was how do we prioritize when there's no time? And the answer to that is the question. I know for me, I prioritize you and the friendship and like showing up and saying yes. And firstly, it's so easy because like we're obsessed with hanging out. But secondly, I prioritize it because it's important in my life, right? So if you're someone that's listening to this and you want better friendships, more loyal friendships, authentic friendships, and you feel like you don't have time, well, then it's not a priority for you. Friendship isn't a priority for you, and that's okay. But how does that feel in your body when you say that? And if that's not the truth, then friendship is a priority for you and you need to make it more of a priority. And so I know for us, we fucking say yes. Like it's,
Well, I think also friendship's kind of like marriage. Like people talk about marriage as a relationship, right? If you've got to deposit into it as much as you take away. Like that's with marriages. For marriages to work, you have to invest in them.
Yeah.
And I think friendships are the same. If not, they're just even more important because you don't have kids linking you together or bank accounts or houses. Like you actually have to make an effort because you don't live in the same house as them. So I think, like you said, I always think about, and sometimes this is my downfall. My mum always says it too. Don't put your expectations on others. I think is hard, but I do that in my friendships, and I always think about what kind of friend would I want them to be for me, and I make sure I always go first. So I'm always thinking about checking in, like if I know you've had a hard week, checking in, ringing up, calling, dropping off random food if I know you've had shit going on. Like I always think about, like who am I showing up if I want the other people to be that for me? I think you've got to go first.
go first. Yeah.
I have another friendship circle with 3 other girls, right? So there's 4 of us and we're all mums. And we all scattered like across the Gold Coast, like I live nearly an hour away from one of them, and it's hard to like find a time to catch up. But what we do is like we've got the group chat and we're just like, right, when is the next night that we're having dinner together? And we literally go through every weekend because one of my friends co-parents, so she's got her son every second week, so it's like literally only half the year that we can see each other, and then it's like going through the calendar, being like, yep, don't like. All 4 of us don't have anything on this weekend, and sometimes it's like 3 months in advance.
But you do it.
But we book it in, and it's like locked in. We get the hubbies to like have the kids, and we just have that one night. And it's not as often as I would love, but
it's still prioritized
it's
and
prioritized,
done. Yeah,
and
it's in the calendar.
Like I literally have something in the calendar for 2.5 months from today with them.
Yeah.
It's like I don't see them very often, but you prioritize the friendship, and it's like you pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
So you make the time.
You make the time.
Because we have another friendship, like you guys know my other 2 best friend, Gretchen and Loz, and they don't live here. And we do the same thing. And like when you're a mum, it's hard too, but when you live even further away, it's even harder. But we put it like a yearly trip. Like it's just on the calendar. Like every year we're going to go away to a besties trip, and you prioritize it. And I think another thing I've seen a lot of women fall into, which I made a promise I'd never be that woman. I'm not saying it like I don't mean that to guilt trip, but I do think it's just a decision. Don't use motherhood as a reason why you don't see your kids. Yes, if you're going to go away, especially if your friends don't live there, you are going to have to organise a babysitter. And yes, your husband's going to have to look after your kids, or if you don't have a husband.
He's going to have to father.
Yeah, like I know some mums like the kid's not going to be fine without me. I'm like, there's 2 of you, and I understand some people are doing solo parenting, but that maybe hopefully you can then extend on rely on your family and your network, or bring the kid if you have to. I bring my kids everywhere.
Trips we've done was Yamba
with the kids.
Oh my God, it was freaking adorable.
And actually, what I loved that we did, we were like, when's the next Yamba trip?
Yeah.
And you booked it. You were like,
I'm
on
booking
Airbnb.
it.
I'm booking it right now. And then we said, and next time, a babysitter is coming.
Yeah.
So like, You just make it
Oi,
work.
Shez, let's bring it.
Yeah, like, yes. But we booked it before we even left. Like, we knew that life gets busy and we're like, hey, that was so great. Like, rather than like waiting for excuses to happen, let's just put it in the calendar now and we make it a priority.
Yeah. Love. So that's the thing. I feel like the number one biggest thing is that, like, people always say, and again, which will lead beautifully into the next question. So I can always like hear the person in my head, like the listener in my head, like, but I do all that and my friends aren't reciprocating, for example.
You need new friends.
You need new
Bang.
friends. Yeah, and that's
Right?
That's where you
so this is
outgrow
what I
some
wanted
people,
to say.
yeah.
So then another question was like, how do you know when a friendship is over or when you should walk away?
Good question.
Right?
Oh, I could talk into that for hours. I feel
Same. Same.
Go. Yes.
So,
I feel intuitively you already know that. The fact that you're asking that, like, a real friendship is one that you want to invest in. Like, even if it's inconvenient, like even if it's life is busy, like you want to be around their aura. You meet each other halfway. You're both investing in that as much as you're taking away. Like, you feel good when you're around them. You laugh. You leave a better person. They're there through the hard times. They're there through the good times. Like.
Yeah.
If you don't have a friend like that, then you honestly, I feel sorry for you because that's what real friendship is. And if you don't have them, I feel like, it's time to seek them because those people are out there looking for you as well.
Exist. If there's no reciprocity and they drain your energy, to me, it's a savage, like, cut. Like, I'm sorry, but if there's no reciprocity, what's the point? Like, why are you, like, putting into the relationship if you're not feeling, like you're giving more than you're getting? Like, I don't know. I just think we grow apart. Like, it's okay to grow apart. And
I remember when I was 22, I think it was 22, 23. Anyway, the very first culling of my life, which was the most profound and transformative, which was my high school girlfriends, my best friends. And when you would know that story, when they all started the blog about me. So that I remember being terrified. I was younger, so fair, right? To walk away because I remember thinking I'm going to have no friends.
Yeah.
And anyway, I walked away the same day, like within the hour, and blocked them all. Literally, I didn't even need to have a conversation. I was like, "You're cunts."
Yeah.
And you're done. And so I blocked them. So I can unpack how to walk away from a more close relationship that sort of is just genuinely fizzling out. But that one I walked away from, and I just remember thinking, like, on the reciprocity comment, I'm going to have no friends. And I remember leaning into that and being like, well, I'm going to have more time to find some good ones.
Yeah.
And I will never forget, it was the most profound teaching moment in my own life where when I cut the shit, like when I cut the literal physical people from my life, the best ones came in. And I remember I met a girl, her name's Anna as well. I will never forget, like, within 24 to 48 hours of literally being like, I literally have no friends left because they're all CUNTs and they're out of my life now anyway. This random girl, Anna, on Twitter, I was a big Twitter user, had like tweeted me, and we'd been tweeting like each other, was like, let's go. And she was a Perth girl, and Anna Ruziera, I think is her last, I don't know how to say her last name. Anyway, she goes, let's go for a coffee. And I was like, amazing. Like, yeah.
There's no coincidence in
that.
that.
And we went for a coffee and we ended up having coffee for like 4 hours. Anyway, she's still a very dear friend in my life today.
That's beautiful.
Right? And I always remember thinking, if you don't get rid of the dead wood, you will never have space for the new.
Yeah.
So everyone that's in this story of, I don't have any really good girlfriends, or I'm the one always putting out, well, fuck them off, sis. Like,
I feel like too, like, I don't know, I feel like the way I see people is with light. And when you've got people around you that are just constantly taking, and there's no reciprocity there, or like they're just not your people, I feel like the more time you give to people that aren't your people, the more you become diluted as well. And you feel like you're half-assing everything and half-assing friendships rather than having like quality over quantity. And I feel like as soon as you focus on quality, the rest naturally will just fall away. And you actually, like, your friendships around you, even though you can have different beliefs and things, I feel like when you've got the right people around you, they help you become the best version of you, and you actually step into your light and you get to pursue more of the things that are great to you. And it's like, it helps the people around you should make you a better person. And like, there's been so many seasons of life where I can look back and where you've had, I don't know if you call them breakups with friendships, but natural.
Have you ever broken up? Like, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I remember having one with my best friend through high school, and there's actually a few of them. There's a few ones that have happened in the last few years, and they're painful at the start. But I think when I come down to it, I keep coming back to who do I want to be, and how do I want to show up for others. And would I accept whatever's happened? Would that happen to another friend? Would I stand for that? Would that happen to my kid? Would I stand for that? The answer is no matter how painful it is. I'm just like, you don't deserve to be in my life anymore. As painful as it is, I need to make space for the right people to come in.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
How have you, because I'll talk to 2 ways that I've left friendships or like done that, because I think it's really important, because a lot of people will stay long, same as relationships, in myself included. You stay longer than is healthy because you don't really know how to leave.
Yeah, or it's comfortable.
Or it's comfortable. Or you're scared because you're like, I'm going to have no friends. Like
or you
me.
avoid conflict.
Yeah, see, I fucking love conflict. but yeah, people avoid conflict.
I think that's, for me, that's been a few of them for me.
For you? Okay. So I want that, this is powerful. So we'll talk to yours. But the 2 ways that I've done it is, number 1, if it's toxic or savage, I literally have just blocked them, obviously. You don't owe an explanation. There is no explanation required or defense required for your decision ever. You just make the decision and you do it. But the second thing that I've had to do more in my later years, I would say, and more recently, is just recognizing, and we can unpack this from a values perspective, but recognizing when your values just change very much, or there's betrayal or whatever else, and it's not necessarily super obvious, or they haven't done something like stolen but like done something like very obvious, then you get to just say, how I've done that is I'm just unavailable. Like I just stop becoming less available. So can we catch up? I'm actually not available.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how I've done it anyway in the past, because it's not a disrespectful thing, but I've just gradually become less available.
I like that.
And then it gets to the point sometimes, which it has every time in my life, where a conversation needs to be had. But I've given it 3 to 6 months of just unavailability and distance. And then I'm able to go, actually,
we can talk now.
Here's the skinny.
Do you know, I wish I could do that. For me, it's always been an energetic thing. Yeah. Like I'm able to, if I feel like, right, I'm raising the bar on myself, I'm raising the bar on my friendships, I'm raising my own standard and what I tolerate, because you get what you fucking tolerate.
Amen.
And every time I think about every friendship I've had to break up with, I've just created like this is going to sound super woo, but like a full-on force field. Force field of like, you are just going to naturally not contact me, want to see me. We're not going to bump into each other. And it's like this protective, like, thing. And it works.
Have you ever had to do that though with like a best friend, like someone that's, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. Recently there's someone who I've had to massively like energetically cut out of my life and
can still do it. Love that.
I've not seen her in weeks. Like, haven't heard from her. We used to send each other reels all the time. She has not sent me. It's like she knows.
Yeah.
She knows like the energy there is not available for me to leech off anymore. Just, I don't know.
And that's the thing. Like I always say in friendship, I know with us, it's, and you said it before, like as in and I said it in that, like, are you being the friend first? And so for you, like, and you are the living embodiment of that, like, you go first. In a friendship, if you feel like, and you know when it's the case, you are giving and giving and giving because the person is taking and taking and taking, you're not in a friendship. You're in a transactional relationship.
Yeah, that's comfortable.
Cut that, right? And that's where I feel like the standard of your life and the boundaries, and it also comes from values, which I think is a huge one.
When I look back on, like, I think about the 4 big friendship breakups I've had since maybe I was 18, like what close friends that's had to, and I think the big thing for all of them has been values. Like I think you can have friends that have different beliefs. Obviously we tolerate like that. You want that. Everyone's like I can have best friends. That's healthy. Yeah. It's totally fine. Yeah. But I think one thing that's really hard to sacrifice is values. So if I know there's some things that I feel really, really strongly about, and if I have someone who's a close friend and I can see them completely have a different value to that, and it's just happening time and time again where it's now like I can't continue to enjoy their presence. It's really grinding my gears. It's really pissing me off. Like I just have to distance myself. I think for all the situations I have done what you've kind of done, I've kind of just like, I've let it happen repeatedly where it's kind of like I can't, it's like that saying, the feather, the truck. You know what I mean? Like it's, have you ever heard that? Like something, your intuition will slowly nudge you. Okay. And if you don't listen, then the fucking truck's coming. So like you'll feel like an intuitive nudge with a friendship like that. I think this is mine. I think it's kind of done its time, or like I think we're growing apart, or like I didn't really agree with that, or I didn't enjoy that conversation. I feel like I should go out of obligation. Like it kind of builds up until I think for all of the ones that I'm personally thinking about, it just gets to a point where I'm like, I don't agree with what they've done. I can't tolerate it anymore. I know they can have different views, but at this point, me standing by and letting it happen feels like I'm totally out of congruency with who I am and who my values are.
Yeah.
So I usually let it slide for a little bit, but it usually comes to a point where it's like, okay, I've got to have a conversation. And I think for all of them, I have had a conversation, and it's never a spiteful one. It's just like out of love.
Yeah.
I don't agree with what you've done. I'm not saying that you can't do that, but I can't stand by and let that happen. So like, I love you. I'm really grateful for the friendship we've had and the memories we've had, but I don't know how to get past this. And it's always been like, I feel like for both parties, it's always been like a respectful, but I've kind of letting go. I've always honored, like, that's my boundary, and I can no longer cross it for my own sake as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'm being a good friend to you anymore if I keep faking this when I can't stand by and have your back when I don't believe in what you're doing.
Yeah. Amen.
And that's been I think the motivation for all of my big friendship breakups.
Can I also say, I feel like, and maybe you'll disagree, I don't know, but like, because same, and that's how I've always had to do it. And I also, there's an element of that as well. Like I put the bubble to be like, I am energetically unavailable to you. But I also have offered advice to people in self-love school that ask this question often. I'm like, because they're like, it's at the point now where it's even hard to have a conversation. I'm like, text them, email them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, my big thing is like, make a decision and don't defend it. Right? I don't think decisions made in love with integrity, like within your own value set, need to be defended. So I always say, like, some people go, oh my God, because of conflict or whatever, I can't imagine having that conversation in person. I'm like, send them an email. Like that, you don't owe anyone. That's my opinion. You write a letter. Write a letter, send it in the mail, send a text. Like, you don't have to necessarily. What I'm trying to say is, like, friendship for me, like, I would be dead without you bitches.
Lucky we're not going anywhere.
I would die, right? So to me, I'm like, friendship, sisterhood, true, loyal, like, out of this world friendship, every woman deserves and should seek and have. And I feel like if you don't, because you have toxic, shitty, misaligned friends in your life.
That actually brings, what sparks for me is, I think what's something really important to all of us, and one of our values is integrity and loyalty. And I think it isn't a coincidence that none of us stand for gossip.
We literally don't gossip.
We don't gossip.
This is true.
I think women don't get this, but I'm like, if that sounds so far-fetched to you, I bet you have bitchy women in your circle and you attract a lot of drama. Like, I feel like the women who entertain drama and the ones who attract are the ones who are talking about it. Like, so I feel like the reason we have such solid friendships is because we also respect each other and have each other's backs, and we back each other as well. And I don't think we entertain anyone in our circle bitching about other people. Like, it's just, we don't stand for it.
It's so funny. I forget. Do you know what?
You forget other people do that because we don't have it. We don't do it.
I just forget that that's the thing, because it's just so far out of our realm of, And the thing is, I will say, because sometimes if you're listening to this and it's like, but the tea, like, right, about someone, but I'm like, but we don't have that in our lives, because we don't have people in our lives that do silly things. And if they do sneak in somehow, they are exited. Yeah. Right? So,
or there will be instances where, like, for example, I'm thinking about a situation where I was like, wait, what happened with such and such? And you were like, look, can't be fucked talking about it. I'm going to give you the really short story. And the tea was like that big. Yeah. And then it was like, cool, next convo. And that's it. Like, no more questions, no more talking about it, no more bitching, nothing. It was just like, here's what happened, let's move on, and we've got better things to talk about. That's the extent of.
And that's how I also know it's interesting, because, like I said, I think we're all energetics. All people are energetic beings. I feel like us three are pretty intuitive, but I even notice when I'm around other women, I feel myself shying away from other friendship circles when I hear them just talking about other women. And I feel like that's another thing when you're kind of talking about, how do I attract women who have my back and are loyal and have, like, strong values? I'm like, are you, like you said, are you that? Do you sit there and do you bitch about others? Do you have women's backs when they're not there? Like, do you rally for women, or do you have a sisterhood wound? Because are you often the one that you're scared of because you're doing that to other women?
Also, speak what you desire into existence. Like, literally, like, write. This is how I attracted Maddie into my life. I wrote a list of, like, my perfect guy. And lo and behold, the bloody bloke was in front of my eyes the whole time. I couldn't see it.
He just needed a haircut.
He needed a haircut. he got a haircut. he got a haircut, and I was like, oh my God, he ticks
it's
all the
you,
boxes. It was like,
right.
he needs to be tan, he needs to be muscly. I know, it was so like,
This was 100% my list as well.
like, nice teeth,
Yeah.
funny, successful. Hello, like literally
My
manifested
best
it.
friend's been in front of me the whole
Yeah,
time.
literally. So like after you listen to this, like go and just write it, like pen to paper.
Write the sisterhood list.
Write the perfect friend, like who you want to be, but also the reciprocity piece of like the type of woman you want to attract into your life that also stands for the same values, has the same standards. They will appear, and then talk about it. I think like, I don't know. I think social media is such a cool way to meet people. I have made friends on social media. And I think putting it out there of like what you're looking for, it might sound weird, but literally like, I am looking for friendships like this. You will have women pop into your inbox and go, I'm craving this too.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
let's be friends.
You got to be her like, I love this because that's how I got Ryan as well, like wrote the king list. But then I remember looking at the king list going, that king has a list. Like a man at that caliber and level.
Yeah, he has a list too.
He's got a fucking list, right? And so I wrote the queen list. And because I was like, well, I'm not going to go hunt him. I'm going to become her. And that's that.
Love that.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I wrote the list, and then, so with the sisterhood, I love this, like the friendship list, loyal, fun, whatever it is, values driven, right? Your job is then to become her on a level that you've never been before. And that's where, and that's how we met, right? Because we were her. And so it's that energy piece when you walk in a room and you go, oh my God, I need to be her friend, which is literally what we all did. You girls were like, should I go talk to her? I got in the car and I'm like, I'm going to be their friends. Like, I know they're my best friends. No. But you do know that. Like, you absolutely recognize that. It's the same goes, one of my longest besties, Danelle, who you girls love.
D.
Like, what are we loving, D? DV. I was 19 and it was my first day of uni, and I walked into it was like my first class marketing, and she was just sitting there and she was so pretty. And she was just dressed, just energy, man. And she was like writing. The audacity. I walked up to her and I was like, it wasn't like, can I sit with you? I was like, can I be your friend?
I love this.
And she looked up and she was like, yeah. And that is literally it. We have been
I can imagine her doing that.
I think that's what we're talking about. Like friends, when you're younger, there's friends of convenience. But when you become an adult, you have to go and seek them. You have to have the audacity. Like me and my other best friend Ash, we laugh about all this time because she was another friend that I met as an adult. Like I moved to the Gold Coast fresh at 18, didn't know anyone. I think you guys have heard this story. It was the first day of O Week. I'd been drinking all day at uni, meeting people.
Fuck yeah.
And I auditioned for a dancing gig because I used to be a dancer. And they're like, oh yeah, you've got your first, like, you're starting tonight. And I'd been drinking for 7 hours all day at uni. And I was like, oh my God. So I stopped drinking and I rocked up to this club, and little did I know the whole university that I was drinking got to the same club. And next thing you know, I'm up on this podium auditioning for this dancing gig, and they're like, and Ash was my boss.
Oh, Ash was
my boss. That's how I met Ash. So she used to run it, and she was like looking at me the whole time being like, you are fucking wild. You've been drinking all day. You've just got up and randomly put on a bikini and just got up and danced on a podium in front of all these people. Like, let's be friends. And like, we've been best friends since I was 18.
Guys, let me tell you, Lauren has not changed.
The girl could pop a drama, yeah.
But she was just like, it was wild. And we literally were best friends from that day on.
Yeah,
and so it's like, you've got to put yourself in circles, and you've got to be audacious, and you've got to be all of you.
Yeah.
There's one thing to like attract friendships though, but I think we really need to talk about how to hold friendships. That's the question I got in my question box.
Especially through motherhood. That was one that I got to. Like, do those friendships change in motherhood, and how do you continue to hold them?
Look,
because you go. This is perfect for you two though, because you were both best friends before. We all were, but like, I'm not a mum yet, so you were bad bitches.
True,
pre-motherhood, and then you did have.
We're still bad bitches.
You're still baddies. Don't worry.
I need to reassure.
She says as she picks up her champagne. You absolutely are my honey, but
you are the baddest baddie ever.
Thank you.
But did it? It's such a good question. Did it? What did it look like? How did it?
Look, I think I was reflecting on this, and I think there are a few things that you need to take responsibility for as a friend. And I take a lot of pride in making a lot of effort with things like I put birthdays in my calendar. I put anniversaries, tough anniversaries in my calendar, kids' birthdays, like events, things that happen. Like I don't have a great memory. Okay, I'm Dory from fucking Nemo. Okay.
You forgot the word of the movie.
Yeah,
didn't you?
I was like, wait, what's the movie name?
I can second that. Working with her for 10 years of like reminder in the morning, then she had to pay like a
Mate.
VA just to remind her of her daily reminders.
Literally, thank fuck Claude Co-work exists. Anyway, so
Amen.
like I have all these reminders in my calendar. I intentionally like make sure that I know that person's something is coming up, an event is coming up, an anniversary or something is coming up, whatever. Like I put those things in my calendar and I make a big effort about them because I think they're important milestones. And as a friend, I think it's so nice to be able to be like, hey, like, oh my God, it's been 1 year since, this happened, or it's been yeah.
You're a very present friend. Like you're very yes, that like you remember things, and I find you're very
my calendar reminds me.
which we love because I don't do that. Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah, I'm typically like, Anna, it's Lauren's birthday this week.
No, this is true.
Should we go for breakfast?
This is very true. And I'm like, fuck, what day is it? Yeah, 100%.
That's why you've got me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why you got me.
See, but then what I would say on holding friendships that I'm proud myself on, but I've done this in my relationship, is love languages.
Yeah, you are good at that.
I know your touch and your quality time, or words of affirmation.
Yeah, your letter you wrote me at your wedding, I fucking sat there bawling my eyes out. I was like, this is
Shan
the
loves
best
words.
gift.
Yeah, because right, and so I always know. So in Yamba, I remember, I will, and I'm really conscious of that. Like, I'm like, I don't need to get up and pour Chani a fucking drink because
It doesn't
I
matter.
need to just tell her,
Yeah.
I need to see you and witness you and tell you how I'm witnessing you, right? Because that's what matters.
Yeah.
And I remember in Yamba, you're just such a cuddle monster, which I
Lauren's
adore.
hugs.
And so, but you are, and I love it. I remember being on the couch and we were cuddled up next because you're not touch. I feel
not
like
a
touch is your love.
I'm a cat.
I love when me and Shani first became friends. I remember cuddling her and she'd be like the friend that go,
It's so
now she cuddles me back. But I remember at the
Now
start
I'm
she'd be
good.
like, or our first photo, she remember really awkward because I'd get up in her grill and she'd be like,
It's just iconic. But it's true, right? Yeah. I'm that friend. So I'm the friend that knows it. And so I just remember being like, this is just going to be feeling fucking like this cup.
cuddle me.
I mean, where we were cuddled on the
I'm like a little
couch.
dog.
And
Like you pat me on the
I took it for the team because I was like, Shani's not going to sub in.
No.
She's over there.
But actually, that trip was when we all shared our love languages, properly, because we all guessed before that. But do the love language quiz with the group chat,
100%.
Get everyone in there to share. There's a free quiz. It's so beautiful
But
to learn.
this is it, because maybe you are the friend, because maybe you do have a beautiful friendship group, but you're just not feeling like you're not at this level, right? Or you're not fully fulfilled. But perhaps you are because you're constantly bringing your friends gifts, right? Or you're the friend that is dropping food off or whatever, not when it's needed. We always all do that for each other when it's most needed. But not randomly, right? Because I'm well, you're not acts of service. So
I wouldn't, yeah.
So I just know the girls' love languages, and I do make sure that you're hugged and you're told how phenomenal you are, right? Because you are. But it's but if I didn't
give it in the way that they need to receive, they don't receive it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you might be doing the same. You might sit there thinking that your friends don't love you and don't have great friends, but maybe you're all just giving love and receiving it in a different way.
Yeah, so true.
Okay, so motherhood. I want to go back to motherhood because we didn't go there because I love that. So holding friendships.
Yeah.
How did it change?
I just think it's interesting because, one of the conversations that came up on my Instagram that kept getting asked was how did your friendships change when you stepped into motherhood? I'm really struggling with holding friends now I've become a mum. And I feel like I can kind of relate to that, and that's kind of a big motivation why I even got offline this year. I'm somebody, I know you've done my star chart or my astrology. I think the champagne's kicking in. Astrology.
New York, unique New York.
I know that you picked up on it was something about me. I'd like it to be potent relationships. I want to be direct. I'm fiery. So I don't know if that's
Scorpio. Depth is your middle name.
So I feel like motherhood made me even more focused on depth. I didn't want to have heaps of friends. I just wanted to have a really close, potent friendship circle.
In a circle.
And the guilt of, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone. I can just speak for how I felt when I stepped into motherhood, because I do pride myself on being such a good friend. I had all this guilt that I couldn't be a good friend to everyone. So I felt like I consciously made my circle even smaller because I want to make sure I could show up and be the friend I want for the friends that are in my circle. So in motherhood, I think what I did is I literally just got really clear on who my inner circle are, and I'm just like, they're the people that I prioritize, and there's a priority, like, because I can't be there for everyone, and there is just gradually what happens with motherhood. Some people, not out of conscious decision, I don't want you in my life. It's just like, I just have limited capacity, and the capacity that I have, these are the people who are getting my time and energy right now. And and unintentionally, some people have just slowly fallen off because I'm just in a season with limited time and energy.
I will say as well, and then you go because I'm not a mother, but what I will reflect to the group and us, and what I know for sure anyway as I enter motherhood is it's values, right? So I think as women potentially, like, I don't think values necessarily change in motherhood. I think they sharpen perhaps,
Definitely sharpen.
or they deepen, and they can change. But I feel like a big one, and I'll be like, it's a spicy topic and we don't have to go there, I will. But like, I know that, for example, I get it often. People go, oh my God, or how did you, like, or they'll ask questions about us, right? Or the kids or whatever, like, well, are they going to daycare because of the vax or whatever? I'm like, oh, I'm not vaxing my kids, for example, right? Now, if anyone was in the friendship circle that did have vax kids, beautiful.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, because pro-choice. If, however, they were judging, projecting, making snarky comments, right? So I think an enormous part potentially with motherhood as well is you sharpen and deepen onto your values and who you are, and protective energy of self and friendships and family, etc. And I do think that this is where values as a friendship group really fucking matter, because I know for us, loyalty, integrity, family, essentially, like, we are sort of all one big family. Like, I know your kids are like my kids, like the kids are all cousins. I know, like, we do family trips together. So I feel like I get when people say, you know, because you're lost in postpartum, or, you know, friends have fallen away or whatever. But I mean, everything we started at the front end of the conversation is still completely relative as a mother. But I do feel like, and I know for me as a woman and soon to be a hopeful mother, I just know, like, it's the values. Like, I know I would trust you with my kids' lives.
And like you said, your values don't necessarily change. They just get stronger. Like, and I think some friendships will naturally fall away with motherhood. But like you said right at the very start of the call, you have to prioritize the ones that matter if you want to continue to keep them. And motherhood has done exactly that. There has been people that have fallen away, and that's just because life is full. But the ones that I want to keep in my circle, I make sure I prioritize. Like, even for like these girls' birthdays, like, I made sure I made a big thing out of it. Like, for a full day, I'm taking them out. Like, you prioritize and put those things in a calendar, and you invest in those things if you are serious about wanting them in your life.
I'm trying to think about my friendships after becoming a mum.
Do you feel like you all became mums at the same time, sort of thing? Like, you've all got no?
Oh, I'm lucky. Probably you.
It's a fucking blur.
You and Ash. Like, my two best friends.
Our babies
were due on the same day, so that was wild.
Is that wild?
That wasn't even planned.
Can I tell the story of how that happened? This is the best. Can I?
This is a funny story.
This is the best fucking story. So we all went to Chani's house. What was it for? Like, just an afternoon.
We were just hanging out.
Yeah, it was just like an afternoon thing.
Sunset.
And the boys were there. I was single, so I was like there by myself. And I remember Dan and Lozzie were like, we actually have something to tell you. This is their first too, right? And I was like, I know what's coming. And you were like, we're pregnant. And we were all screaming and we were so excited. And then fucking Chani and Nat went very obviously quiet. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. And then you two looked at each other.
I remember the look, and I was like, what the fuck's the look
What the fuck are you not happy for us? And then they both, like, it was like, should we say? And then Chani was like, we're pregnant too.
That was
unplanned, completely unplanned.
I think you guys knew that we were trying, but I didn't know you guys were trying.
No.
I think, and then we were like, how far along are you? And I was like, only 8 weeks. That's why we weren't going to tell anyone, but I was already really, really sick. So I was telling people. And then that's why you guys weren't going to tell anyone because you were so early, but you're like, we're like 8 weeks too. And then what's your due date? I'm like, what the fuck? We had the same due date.
Yeah. It was wild.
And you were there just with your champagne.
I was drinking my best.
I guess I'm the only one drinking.
You're like, so what are you drinking? You're like, I've got non-alcoholic drinks, remember? And then you were trying to throw each other off with not drinking, and I was just like, She's like, I'm just drinking by myself then. You bitches fooled me. I'm like, sorry.
Because I rocked up and I'm like, does anyone want a drink? And no one wanted a drink. But that's normal in our friendship. And that's a really beautiful thing. Like, I remember that day and I was like, did you want a drink? Did you want a drink? And you girls are like, nah. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not,
it's
I think
normal.
there's a really beautiful element of that in friendship as well. Like, whatever your path is, whatever my path is at whatever time.
You know what I think, actually, and I don't know if this will come up here, but I feel like this is something else I've noticed that's unique in our friendship, and I don't realise it until I have other women talk about their friendships, is so many other friendships avoid hard conversations. Like, if they've had something, like, if their friend's going through something, they just won't talk to them about it, or like, I don't know how to support her through that. I feel like all of us three, what's really important for all of us is if we're not scared to have the hard conversation, if we know that you're going through something, or even if we're worried that we've pissed you off or something, we're not afraid to address it because we care about our relationships and our friendships, that we're not willing to let that slide. Which kind of comes back to the standard piece, but I just feel like there's a lot of women who avoid conflict
so true.
and hard
None of us
conversations.
have ever swept anything under the rug.
No.
Nothing has ever been
There's
swept
no rugs
under
in
the
our
rug.
relationship.
No, we've had
But
fucking...
as well, we've also had conversations where like we've had different views.
Yeah.
Which is
Lovingly.
so healthy.
Yeah.
And it's been respectful. Like, you can have different views to your friends or not disagree as in like, I don't disagree with you. Like, as in like, okay, that's a different way to look at it and still have the most beautiful, nourishing, respectful friendship.
Actually, and let's use a really big, beautiful example. Shannon and I, like, I miss politics, right? Like, I'm always connected to the world. This is a really good example. So I'm really connected to I am and I'm not. I don't know. But like, I
You
do.
know your
shit.
I know my shit.
You have interest in it. You follow it. You eat. You're always you're following it. You're consumed by it.
Yeah.
You take interest
If
in
you
it.
asked me like
She'll tell you what's going on
the
in the
oil
world.
price today, I would know, right?
If
like,
you ask me who the Prime Minister of Australia is, I actually don't
she
know.
genuinely couldn't tell you, right? But see,
My dad always backs me up.
I love this about that, like this, and I feel like I need that, right? But Shani's very like the world, and it's beautiful, and I need this as well. Like Shani's like, what war? Like,
Literally.
no, I'm not kidding.
Literally me in the centre.
Turn it on, like, and I'm like, beautiful, and like,
But also, like, I'll go and watch your stories and I'll be like,
Great.
well, fuck, I just got educated on what's happening in the world. Thank you, Anna.
But it's such a perfect, beautiful, powerful example that we are literally black and white in that.
Yeah.
But I need you. It's like,
And I need you.
right? It's not like,
Yeah.
well, she talks about politics and that's too much and da da da. It's like, fucking go off, sis.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but stay over there. Like you're,
Yeah.
and I would say as well when if I'm being really political, and I'm sure Shannon would be like, I don't need to watch that story right now. I've got no. Yeah.
Where's Banjo?
Banjo, man.
No, but I genuinely watch your stories because
yeah.
I'm like,
I'll
I
learn.
don't know what the fuck is going on in the
Yeah.
world, and you are my
See, I
source of
don't,
info.
I don't need the news. I just need Anna's Instagram.
yeah.
That's what I
Actually, I'll
do.
never forget
And then-
when we had to vote, remember? And Anna was like, okay, guys,
This is who you're fucking.
yeah, this is, you put a little 1 in this box. And I was like, put the 1 in that box.
I think I sent you a photo of like how to vote.
Yeah.
No, and what is another really beautiful example is like I feel like this didn't test the relationship, but like strengthened our relationship, which I'm really grateful for. You have fucked off offline.
I love this.
I'm obsessed with this.
because
We're closer.
we're closer because
Yeah.
we now have to communicate not through
You gotta
Reels.
message me, girls.
No, but seriously, so like Lozzie decided, you can talk about it, but you decided to fucking go offline, which we fully supported. We were like jealous. And
I'm
then
not far behind you, to be fair.
yeah,
You've been
so
saying that
fair.
for months though. I'm
I
still
know.
waiting.
I know.
It took you a minute though, didn't it?
Yeah,
It took you a minute.
It was the feather, the truck. It was the same
Yeah.
thing. It was like intuition for like 6 to 12 months. Like, I don't want to be on here anymore. I don't want to be on here anymore. And then I was
we
like,
unpacked it a lot with you.
yeah. And then I was like,
then-
I need to get off here. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to blow shit up. So off I went.
Yeah. But it's been really beautiful. And this, I think it's telling of the friendship in essence, because it like, you don't realize, I think, how much you do just know how much is going on in the other person's life because you see it on Instagram.
So true, particularly if you share a lot online.
Yeah,
like,
like-
we do. Like
like
it's
we-
part of
yeah.
our personal brand
Yeah.
to share online. So
Yeah.
we'll catch up and be like, "Oh yeah, I saw that," which is weird, but also not weird. Like
Yeah,
it's normal.
it's normal.
But
And
now,
then now we go to catch up. So like, oh yeah, this is my head with this carotene. I'm like, what the fuck was a carotene? And then you're talking about something. I'm like, what have I missed? Like, oh, Instagram. Oh,
But now I feel like we make such an effort to like, we'll be
Update
like,
Lozzie.
Lozzie,
well, I
you're
was
not in the
sneaky,
group chat.
and I did get back on Facebook just so I could view your Instagram stories, so I see what's happening. But I've got back off that again too.
Yeah, I know.
That was my way
You
around it. I
replied.
was like, I'm not on Instagram, but if I go on Facebook, I can see them on the Facebook stories.
But
Yeah.
you know what? It's actually created space for us to have deeper connections.
Yeah.
Because there's no, like, I know that whatever I've shared online, you've not seen. So I actually have to sit down with you and be like, well, what's going on in your life? And you're like, what's going on in your life? Because we have not
We have no idea.
shared
Yeah.
anything to each other about our lives other than what we're communicating. So it's beautiful. I agree. It's like strengthened the friendship.
But and in some situations, I can guarantee there's people listening that it's like, well, I got offline and my friends just stopped reaching out, right? And again, it's like we absolutely, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, beautiful. So that relationship probably was going to fizzle out anyway.
Yeah.
Like it was a very surface level relationship. So I think that's like, I'm trying to think of like all the little examples where.
And I think like I know that we've all been through friendship breakups where we've lost consciously, like there have been like, what do you call them, like uncoupling? Is it conscious uncoupling?
Conscious uncoupling.
And it is painful. So if
It's
you're in a
super
situation
painful.
where you know that like there's a friend that isn't, it's not being reciprocated, or maybe you've outgrown the friendship, it's like it does hurt. We're not going to sit up here and say friendships are easy. They do take work. But like anything that's worth having, you've got to either fight for it or invest in it. If it's not something you want to fight for and if it's not getting reciprocated, then it's just time to make space for a new one, as we've said. And it's not always easy. Like it's not easy.
I will say as well, something that I was just thinking about, like in the friendship, was I remember my single era.
Me too.
The
I feel like there's a few warnings when you're staying at our house and we said not to do something. You came home, you said, sorry, Mum and Dad, I did that thing. me and Dan were parenting.
I remember Dan in the kitchen. I was like, Dan, I did this thing.
You fucked up.
And I go, do you reckon it's sellable? And Dan was like, nah, mate, no, you fucked it.
That one's done. Move on.
Oh, anyway.
What were you going to say about your single?
No, so I was going to say, but then, right, and there was some fuckheads involved amongst there in DV, etc. What I want to say is something that I value in this friendship. There's loyalty and all those things, and there's the standard. Number one, you held me to a standard. The minute that you knew that what the truth of what was going on in that toxic, fucked situationship, it was game over. Like I just felt so safe to finally tell you because I knew you girls would like get me out of it. And hold me to like the standard of just like never going back to a trauma bond. But also what I find is there was no judgment in the friendship, right? And even when I was single and I was crazy, like
I was living vicariously through
amen.
you.
Hey, fucking man.
Tell me all the stories.
FaceTime me the drama. No, so, but that was a really important thing. So I often get questions which I think are beautiful and never stop asking community, but like, how do I support my friend in XYZ, like a DV relationship, or she's in a really toxic relationship, or it's typically that. And I'm always like, I just use you both as the example. I'm like, just be there for her.
It sounds
Like,
so
without
silly, but it's like
judgment.
that saying, how would you want to be treated? Every time you keep making something more complicated, put the shoe on the other foot.
Yeah.
Like, you just need someone to be there and unconditionally, no matter what time of day, no matter how much you fucked. It's like the parent. Like, I feel unconditional love is the same kind of love you want from a parent. Like, you just want to make sure we're here no matter what. And that's what real friendship is.
Yeah.
I see you. I know who you are. I know what you stand for. I know what you're capable of. I know you're going through a hard time, and we're here for you when you're ready.
Yeah. Which is exactly how it was and exactly how I felt. Yeah. And then when I was ready, it was I sat at your bench with you both and I was like, I have a confession to make. Like, this is the whole story. Don't let me fucking go back.
I think one of the most powerful questions you can ask a friend in a difficult time, whether there's been a loss, betrayal, violence, whatever, is what do you need from me?
Yeah.
Like, how can I help? And sometimes people feel like, oh, I don't want to be a burden and ask you for help. It's like, maybe ask the question differently. Like, I am here to hold you in whatever capacity that looks like. Tell me my role right now to help you through this. Like,
You do that really well. I think you're such a great communicator.
Yeah.
Like, I think about even throughout the years when, like, there's been hard conversations, or even if I've been going through stuff and I don't think I intentionally do it, but sometimes for me when I go through stuff, I make sense of it first before I make sense with other people. And there's been times where like, you must know that I'm going through something. You're like, I don't know how you say it because you communicate it so much better than I do. But like, I can feel something. You're going through something. Like, can I help? Like, you're not you're not being your normal self. Like, I can see it, I can feel it. Have I done something? Like, you just always open up the door so beautifully to be like, oh, really? Really? I didn't even know. I thought I was doing a really good job of hiding that. And you're like, no.
Yeah, you're the seer in the friendship for sure.
Yes, I read energy well.
What I'll also say though, and I actually got asked this the other day in a self-love school live call, and it was a beautiful self-aware question from the queen that asked it, but she said she's got a friend or her friendship group, she gives a lot of advice, and she's like, and I get frustrated or I get hurt because I feel like they're not taking it and rah, rah, rah. And I said, that's so interesting and what beautiful self-awareness, because in my friendship group, like, we're all coaches. Like, at the end of the day, we are actually all coaches. But the example that I gave, and we had it, like, you were DMing me the other day, and I said, we ask permission. Like, we're actually friends. That's all we are. Like, we're sisters. We don't coach each other until the other will come in the bestie chat. We will say, hey, and we'll know what's going on 9 times out of 10 because we're living it with you. But at the point until the person says, hey, I need some advice on this, we're like, beautiful. And I remember you had come to me recently and you said, babe, I've got like this download. Would you be open to me sharing it? Remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, please. But I just was like, that is such a beautiful, integral, like, because it wasn't coaching, but it was ultimately like an opinion of.
It was an opinion, that's right. And I was like, I don't want to give unsolicited advice here. I love you, but I need to share this with you. But also, if like you're not open to whatever, like, all good.
Yeah.
So
And it was a really beautiful. It was so necessary, realistically, and it would have helped me. It did help me so much, right? But it was like, I hadn't asked for it. Ultimately, I knew where your head was at. So you checked first. As a best friend, as a sister, you still were like, would you be open to me sharing this with you? And I was like, please.
You knew what I was going to say before. You were like,
did.
I know what you're saying.
I know what you're going to say.
say.
No, because we're so interested. I said, I have a feeling we're on the same wavelength. So please share it because I want it validated, basically. And you completely validated it. But that's another big thing I feel like in friendships, sometimes we think, and it's the same in relationships. One of the most healing things that came so natural to Ryan was literally when I go to him 9 times out of 10 and I'm venting about my day or a situation or IVF or whatever else, men want to fix it, right? Men want to fix it. And he will say, baby, do you want me to listen? Or do you want me to fix? Do you want a solution? And I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm like, just listen. Yeah. And that's what I feel like this is. It's like, it's just a safe place to live our lives and show up and be ourselves and do what we do and say what we say. Yeah. And until we say, hey, like, can I get this opinion from you or advice? Like, we're not coaches to each other.
No, but what I feel like we do really do, and I think what I love most about our friendship is you always will ask for, like, none of you guys ever talk out of school, but you're never afraid to ask. If you see one of us isn't living up to our potential, or, you know, one of us is playing below the line, or one of us is like you've got more to give and you're just playing small, like, you're like, hey, can I tell you what I'm seeing here? Like, and like, we just give it, like, we know what each other's capable of. And I love that we always call each other out on it to make sure we are living up to our highest standards and we want the best for each other.
Yeah.
And protective as well. Like, I feel like we're very, like, when we see if something's off with someone else in someone's life,
we're protective of the circle.
Hey, hey.
What bitch do I need a bash?
Whose body are we burying?
Actually, I had a really good question in my question box, and it was, how do you have difficult conversations with someone? You just reminded me. I think it was worded differently. It was like,
in the friendship group or
in the friendship
Is it the one that Nima taught you? Because I feel like I still have that saved in my phone. Every time I need to have a difficult conversation, I've got like your way of doing it.
Oh, the framework?
Yeah. I still have it. I'm like, how does Chani do this?
You use that still?
Literally, because I hate conflict. I haven't realised, I did realise probably maybe 4, 5 or 6 years ago before I became a mum. But one of my biggest bit of my healing journey was I didn't realise how much of a people pleaser I was. I hate letting people down. So I would avoid conflict. And to a point where it came to the detriment of my own well-being or in our businesses. Like, there's times where we should have done stuff when it came at the detriment of our business because I was scared of having hard conversations. So now I just look back at that framework because I'm like, I know my intention's right. I just want to make sure I say it in the right way so it can be received right.
So if you've ever seen the reel, this is how I see our friendship. You know the reel or like that trend, and it was like 3 people, and it was like, fuck you. And then the next person was like, I'm so sorry. And then the third person walked through and was like, nah, fuck you. That, I'm the first one. I'm like the spicy, start the fight. Like, you're the middle one, like, I'm sorry. And then you're like the third, like, yeah, I'll go because she's got like the Chilean, like,
The crazy South American bitch.
That's us, right? It all works.
I think it was Nima's restore integrity.
Yeah, the restoring integrity framework.
Yeah. Is that what you would kind of go to when you're having hard conversations?
Hard conversations. We hijacked you. We side quested.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I can see it even sometimes when we've had hard conversations, even when we're in business, like we work together. Like doing business with friendships is hard. I remember there's been a couple of times when like it was used, that framework was used. And it's not like, oh my God, I'm using a framework. It actually just, it helps you have a hard conversation in a really easy way.
Yeah. It's lost on me right now, like the exact order, but it's like.
Is that what you were going to say though? Having hard conversations?
No, no, you reminded me about it. I haven't actually used it in a while. I think it naturally rolls.
Yeah, so you just know how to do it.
But it's when you need to have a difficult conversation with someone, you say something like, I can sense and feel like something's not right and I really just want to restore integrity and talk about like what's happened. This is how it's been for me, but how has it been for you? And you give that person the space to be like, well, actually, yeah, this has been like this for me. And then the next part of the framework is you don't like justify anything about their experience. You don't try and explain why you did that thing or whatever. Don't try and like give them your perspective. You just say, okay, I hear you. Like, what step do I need to take for us to restore integrity? And it's actually just such a beautiful framework because I feel like it helps you as the person who's starting the conversation to just like take responsibility for what's happened, to like you're not trying to justify and explain and like, you know.
You're not trying to move the blame around.
No,
you're
it's just like, cool, I hear you, I see you, I get it, thank you. And then I think the last question you ask is, like, what do you need from me? Well,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's like, what do you need from me so we can like move forward? Because I really respect, and I think the reason that that kind of framework is really important in friendships. Because I hope I'm right. Like, you have friendships you want to keep, and you're pretty naive to think you're never going to have a hard conversation in a friendship. So like, it's knowing. I think that framework comes really handy because at the core of it, it's essentially saying there's an issue here. I love you and I want to fix you. Like, I want to fix this situation. How do I move forward? Because I really, I respect and I value this.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to have that kind of framework to know, because sometimes you are guessing. There's always, what you said, there's always your story, my story, and then the truth.
Yeah.
And that's always going to happen. So I think it's just nice to have something you can kind of do when there is not conflict, but there's just sometimes things that happen in relationships to be able to make sure like that doesn't tarnish this beautiful friendship that we have.
Attention. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm really proud of? That we have worked together for 10 years and we're still best mates.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty rare.
That's unicorn level.
Yeah.
That's actually unicorn level.
But I do believe like everything we've spoken about today is literally why
we've lived and breathed. Yeah. Like it's not just, we're not just saying things, like that's how we've done it.
Like that's how,
we've had hard conversations. I think we love each other respectfully, know each other really well. We know each other's values. We hold each other to a standard.
And you went from best friend, like, I know again, we all did, but it was like, like motherhood at the same time, went from best friends not being mothers to best friends being mothers. What a journey, girls. Do the hard conversation because we're on the hour, but I really want to hear what you were going to say because we side quested you.
Well, no, I think I was just genuinely asking you girls the question, like, how would you begin, like, if you need to have a difficult conversation with a friend, like, how do you do it? But
I have that saved in my notes. I have that saved in my notes, literally. It's not like you say it word for word, but I kind of just have that to guide me on how to have it, because I hate conflict. I didn't realize, like, unless someone's really fucking hurt me or hurt my friend, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck you. Like,
yeah.
Well, but there is that. Like, there's a fierce part of me. Like, if you've hurt me and you've hurt my family and my friends, I'm coming for you too. Like, that's not an issue. But like, when there's a really when it's unintentional and there's tension going on and it's something that it might have been so flippant and so.
Even like you just don't feel perhaps like seen,
or you're making something up in your head, like maybe you're like, did that really happen? I'm just feeling like this energy's off. It's just really nice, because I think, like you said, friendships are one thing to attract them, but how do you maintain them and hold them? You invest in them, you prioritize them, but you've also got to learn how to, when hard shit happens, which it does, how do you make sure you navigate them and you don't just avoid it? Which I feel like I said, I've got a couple of girlfriends, when I hear them talking about the other friendship circles, one thing that comes really apparent for me is we don't talk shit about other people and we don't avoid hard conversations. We address them with each other. Yeah. And I think that's why we have the potent and the deep friendships that we have.
Stunning.
Love it.
Well, my queens, we are on the hour.
Beautiful.
Perhaps a minute or two over. So I'm so proud of her.
That was a great.
I hope that was
I feel
helpful.
like we need to do this regularly. I feel like there's going to be so much demand, but do like a ask the besties anything, like once a month.
We should. Why
Come on
haven't we
and
done that?
spit fire. Just
Then you'll see the real different personalities come out.
yeah, I'll be like, anyway, I won't even project the questions I hope we would get. No. But I love you so much. Thank you for coming on. I feel like this is the most important conversation. And like at the moment, because it is the most common thread that I'm getting asked. And so it's the pulse of society. I think it's the pulse of the world. I think people are craving connection more than ever. I think they're not getting it. I think that deep, loyal, true friendships outside of your core relationship is life-changing and often life-saving in my own experience. And so I just love you both so much.
Love you.
too.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for the
I need to get you to we need to get matching tattoos.
How do we not have matching
I
tattoos?
just had this moment.
Needles.
That's right, this bitch.
Mate, you have a massive bird on the side of
It
your
took them
neck.
like 2 hours to do that when I was 18. I could like
Now
faint
we're
like
doing
every
it.
like
Fuck
second.
you, we're doing
Do you
it.
know what I find weird? That you have a phobia of birds and you have one tattoo.
You know, I'll tell you the story behind that. It's supposed to say she flies in her own wings. It was like it's supposed to say she flies in her own wings. So I love independence. But when I sat down to the tattoo, he was just like, that's going to take more time. That means more time with the needle. And there's too much skin there. So what represents that? I'm like, a bird. And then we did a bird.
I died.
So it's like, literally still because I'm scared of needles. What's going to be the quicker way?
Lozzie is more scared of the epidural needle than the birth.
Which is what drove me to have, two natural
natural
births
births.
and no interventions.
Queen.
I'm scared of blood and needles. So.
Mate, it's phenomenal. Anyway, I will, based off of the feedback from this episode, which I know is going to be wild and amazing, we could potentially bring a monthly, I feel like.
Let's do it.
Ask the besties anything.
The bestie chat.
Just get everyone in. Anyway, I love you both so much.
you.
Love you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know that you will have. If you have a friend or a sister or a bestie that you would love to send this to, send it, share it. Please share it. It helps the podcast. It will definitely help your bestie or your friend. And until next time, my loves, stay wild.